Hey, what's up, family? So, so I wanted to talk about something, that's been heavy on my spirit, and it's, a lot of the things that the chosen ones don't actually, get to talk about or get to address, or maybe don't understand, that this is something that we all deal with as chosen ones of God, right? And it's kind of the deep parts, the darker parts of what it is like being chosen, right? And for a lot of years growing up, we are very different. We never thought the same. We tried to, we might even have been popular for a certain period of time, but we always tried to, find ways to be like the other people, right? To connect with the other people around us because we always felt so different. And for many years, we never understood why we always felt so much different than the rest of these people, why we thought different, why we moved different, why we had went through different things, like way different things than them as far as our journey. And then, something that happened to me that, it's a very hard time that I had went through during COVID time. All these years, passed by, and then later on, maybe when you didn't quite understand who you were as a chosen one, and then COVID hit, and my whole life kind of began to fall apart, right? Where I lost my job, I lost my truck that I worked hard for, the woman that I was with for 7 years, just stuff started shedding away from me, right? And the hard thing about chosen ones is a lot of times, from all these years of people that have left, or people that misunderstood us, or didn't understand why we had such a deep love, or a deep mind, or a deep soul, why we always thought so deeply, right? We always are very observant, and everything we do is deep, right? It comes from our soul, it comes from our spirit. So when we love hard. When we hurt hard. Like if we are hurt, we really feel it. But that's also what makes us stronger, right? Now, one thing that I realized with a lot of chosen ones that I understood when COVID hit and I began to go through my isolation and come out the other side of that, right, was that I used to always think that there may have been something wrong with me, of why this stuff always happened, or why people always abandoned me, or why people never loved the same level that I didn't think the same way that I did. I thought it was a me problem because so many people are like each other, right? So many of people in the world, they run in packs and they think just alike. You know what I mean? And for us chosen ones, it's just not that. Now, see, when I went through the isolation, I began to truly heal and separate myself from the crowd, is when I understood that it wasn't that it was a problem with us. It was actually that we were so much different than the rest in a good way. That God made us different for a reason. That yes, we were different than the average mentality. Yes, we are different than normal people. But it's for a great reason. It's because we aren't average. We are the 1%. We are the ones who have the ability to do anything that we want. And I believe all humans can do anything that they want, right? If they truly set their mind to it, they can do anything that they desire. But see, us chosen ones, our desires are just so much different. Like We have so much passion in the things that we do. We have certain talents that God gives us. We have certain visions that God gives us, or certain, special things that God gives us. And a lot of people don't want to talk about this. But the fact of the reality is the more that I hang around other people, I realize that chosen ones are very brilliant in their own ways. And we are meant for a very great purpose. So you have to understand that it never was that it was something wrong with you. It was actually quite the opposite. It was actually that there was something great in you. And if you ask anybody who's been successful, or anybody who has made it to the top, or anybody who has truly found God and got lifted up and elevated to a high level, if you ask any of these people, they're going to tell you that the journey on the way there was lonely, that the journey on the way there was narrow, that they might have a select few people, a small circle, maybe a wife or girlfriend and a kid, maybe nobody, maybe one friend, maybe one brother, and that's just the way it is. And that's because we have to be very selective with who we allow around us. God truly wants to speak to you and have you chase your purpose and elevate in all the ways that you can as a chosen one. And you're supposed to be lifting up and healing these other people around you. That's why you have to be set apart. That's why you have to understand that you have greatness in you, that there was never nothing wrong with you. It was just great people get separated from the pack. If you do what everybody else is doing, you'll end up where everybody else is. You got to separate and isolate to elevate. And that's just the structure of God. He knows this. He knows that if you have all these other people around you, that they will cloud your vision, that they will pull you in directions that He doesn't want you. That they may not see that greatness in you, and they will shed that negative mindset. They will put that negative belief system on you. So when you're in isolation, this is your time that's so vital for your well-being, for your growth, where it really matters who you have around you. Not as who you have around you, but what you have around you. The things, the people, the places, everything around you is very vital in that season of isolation. Because that's your season of growth. That's your season of healing. That's your season of God prospering you or getting you ready for the prosper. And he has to trim the fat off the edges. He has to get you to meet Him halfway. He has to see that you're ready to let go of the things that's been holding you back. Not just the actions, but the mind frame, the vices, whatever it is that you need to let go, that's preventing you from getting closer to God and closer to your purpose and elevating to that next level. So I really wanted to just, say what was on my spirit today and drop this message on you chosen ones and let you know that you are very special. And it's not arrogance to know that you're great and that you're meant for greatness, or maybe you're not even feeling great right now, but just know that you are great and you have greatness in you and that you have a special purpose. That is why you were set apart. So even in the hardships, you have to look at it as, what is God trying to show me? What is He trying to bring out of me from this? Be very observant in this season. Pay attention to the people, places, things around you and see which ones are adapting to your growth, which ones are helping you change, which ones are changing with you, growing with you. Because if they're not growing with you, all they're going to do is hold you back from your ultimate growth. You know, and a lot of times it doesn't get talked about, you know, the times where we had a lot of insecurities and we didn't understand why we wasn't able to connect with people the same way, or why we thought so different. Or for many years, maybe we thought that there was something wrong with us, and that was why. Until you go through your isolation and you find out who you are and whose you are, then he begins to reveal how special you are. He begins to reveal why he had to remove and prune things out of your life. And it's actually a beautiful thing, because that just shows not only his love, but his grace for you. Because of all the setbacks that you've had, all the mistakes that you have made, God never turned his back on you, even if you turned your back on him. And he knew that you had the capacity, not just in your mind, but in your body and soul, to reach the destination that he wanted you to reach. He knew that you had the wisdom. He knew that you had the character, the heart posture. He knew that you had those special attributes that are vital for your success, that absolutely force you to walk through the fire and come out stronger. You know, it hurts when you have to take loss, and it hurts when people that you truly care about leave your life. And a lot of times you don't understand why. But, you know, when you make it, when you keep grinding and keep working on yourself and getting closer to God and becoming the best you every single day, and you don't focus on the why, you just have faith. You have blind faith in that he's going to lead you and show you why. And he does. So just know that when you get to that destination of where you're fully healed, where you're fully locked in, you know, where you healed from all the past traumas, all the setbacks, all the heartbreaks, all the times that maybe your parents didn't care about you or wasn't there for you how you wanted them to be for you. You know, and that was something with me. I never had parents past the age of 15, 16 years old. You know, my dad, he's been in prison since I was a young child. I lost my mom when I was probably 16. So I never had that guidance. But God knew that I was going to go through this. And he knew that that was going to be the very thing that was going to breed a lion out of me. That was going to make me unbreakable. That was going to make me be such a strong man that I could stand on my own and I didn't need nobody. I didn't care what the people were doing around me. I didn't care if they liked me or disliked me. That I just kept trying to be that positive influence and shine my light on the world. And they either receive it or not. That wasn't my issue. That's God's issue on how they receive it or when they receive it. And theirs. You know, you can't force anybody to level up. You can't force anybody to see the truth. And that's why God has to strip people out of your life sometimes. Because, like I said, if they're not growing with you, then they're keeping you stagnant. And that's just the reality of being a chosen one. What it's like is that, you know, a lot of times God isn't going to allow you to have people that are not good for you. People that have ill intentions that you don't know about. And if they are just not good for you in this season, he will pull you away from them. And then he will show you that it's okay now, that you're in a mental spot, that you're in a spiritual strength to where you can be around these type of people again without them influencing you, but you can actually influence them. When they're able to take heed, when they're able to open up and actually listen to your wisdom because God showed them who you were as well. You know, you just keep showing up and being the best person that you can be. And eventually, even some of the ones that would never listen are going to remember the things that you did. They're going to remember the things that you said. And even a year, 2, 3 years later, what you had tried to give them, the love you tried to show them, the strength you had shown them through your actions, all the steps that you have taken, all the moves that you have made, and all the love that you have given is eventually going to manifest, and they're going to realize that you always were for the greater good, that you were always there to try to love them, to try to build them up, to try to get them to see the truth. You know, and that's why God puts us through the same thing. Because just like in the Bible, a lot of the underdogs, a lot of the wild boys in the Bible were the ones that God made kings. But it was because of their passion, their heart, their drive, and their loyalty to God. You know, even though they may have made mistakes, God knew their heart posture. So he kept taking them through trials and tribulations that eventually made them realize that they absolutely needed God, that he was the leader of all things, and that they could accomplish anything with him. So I just wanted to drop this message on you guys real quick. It was been heavy on my spirit, you know, and that's just one of the things that a lot of chosen people don't get to really talk about, is that, you know, a lot of us dealt with that growing up, or have dealt with it for years. And you just have to understand that you are special. You're not average. That's why you never fit in. And it's actually a good thing, not a bad thing. The more rare you are, the more value you carry in anything, you know, in anything in life, any asset in life. The rarer, the scarcer that it is, the more value that it carries. So I want you to never forget that, family. And like I always say, like and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. And I just want you to know that all of us are family, man. And I love every one of you, because I know the journey that it took for you to get here. I know the journey that it took for me to get here. And I'll always be that person that you can lean on, that you can, you know, that will let you know that it's okay, and that we all, even the strongest, have to suffer. Even the strongest have to get knocked down and get back up. In fact, the strongest ones get it the most, because God knows that we can handle it, and it molds us into a lion. So I love y'all, man. Stay focused, stay positive, stay blessed. I'll see you on the next video. Salute.